Guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I do make lifestyle and beauty videos. So if you like those type of videos, you can feel free to subscribe, and if you do like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. It does help my video get out there with the YouTube algorithm. But the purpose of today's video is to recreate this type of look, and it's honestly been my go-to look recently just because I feel like it gives a little zhuzh. But I also threw in some tips here on how to control your oils, especially with the warm weather coming up. You want to make sure your makeup stays fresh and oily free for as long as possible. So if you want to know how to make this look, please keep on watching. Alright, so we're going to go in with my Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. So for anyone who has not seen any of my previous videos, this is my ride or die with primers. It really does help with locking in my oils throughout the day and making sure my face looks nice and fresh for as long as possible. And a plus is that it leaves my skin feeling super soft and velvety smooth. So it does allow my foundation to go on nice and smooth. So next we're going to go in with my Fenty Beauty foundation. So this is actually my second time giving this a try. So the very first time I've tried it was when it first came out. So I did not have the best luck with it, just because I found that it tended to oxidize on me. But I don't know what Riri did, and she switched up the formula, but for the good. For the better, I should say. And this really is becoming one of my favorite foundations because it really does match my skin. For one, like before I wasn't able to find a match for me, so I'm glad I was literally able to find one that matched my skin. Although contrary to what this video is showing, it's not as yellow as it's coming up on camera. It really does match me in person, I promise. And it's a nice medium to full coverage, so it doesn't feel heavy. It's very lightweight, and you can build up to that full coverage that you would want when wearing this. And since I'm oily, I do like a natural matte finish, so which is why I really enjoy this, just because it's matte enough for it to control and not make me look glowy in a sense, but it also doesn't make me look super flat and dead. So all I'm doing now is just making sure I'm packing on enough product to cover up my post-acne marks, just because my skin's been acting up lately. So I have some post-acne marks going on, and I'm just building up the coverage with using my tapping motion and building up the products on top of those spots. And for anyone who's wondering, it's a Morphe brush I'm using. I don't remember the name of it, but it's kind of faded away. But it's a really good brush for anyone who likes to build up nice full coverage foundation. Okay, and we're just blending through right now, making sure I'm just using up all the product. I'm not a person to waste foundation. So next we're gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So this one's an oldie but a goodie. I've been using this for, I don't even know as long. I just say high school because that's as far as I can think. But I've used this for so long, and it's truly been my favorite concealer up till this point. Like, I don't know what other concealer can really compete with it. It's really hard. And I know some people say that it's too heavy, might be too drying, but I absolutely love it. And I love the coverage it gives with using such a little amount of product. And I'm just blending it through, making sure it's all nice and blended through, especially with my eyes. For some reason I get issues, so we're just making sure it's get all nice and blended. And one thing I really do like is that it blends like a dream. You don't have to put a lot of effort into blending it through. So now we got some dimension back. We're gonna just put a stripe down the nose. So I like to do this to emphasize the high points of my nose, and it helps with bringing out my bronzer later, which you will see. So I'm just gonna blend that through and make sure it looks all nice and seamless. Alrighty, now we're gonna use the Mercier powder to set it. I absolutely love this powder. This powder really is an oily girl's best friend, I should say. So I'm gonna go into the Beauty Blender puff and just pack on the powder underneath. And I do this what they call baking technique to help build up the amount of longevity, I will say, that you will get out of your concealer, so it does not crease. I've always done this. It's honestly been very helpful. So now I'm just gonna skip right through my brows, and I know it looks crazy, but I promise when everything gets on, it'll be fine. So I'm gonna just prime my eyelids with my Smashbox Photo Finish primer. So I like to warm it up with my fingers, and I just pack it on the eye. This helps with my application for my eyeshadow to make sure that my eyelids do not crease, because that's a huge issue for me, because my oily eyelids tend to make everything crease. And one of my biggest techniques that I've done was take some powder on a brush, swirl it around in there, and just kind of set the primer in place, because this primer, since it's nice and thick, it can tend to be sticky, which can eventually grab onto your eyeshadow, and no one wants that. No one wants to see any patchiness within the eyeshadow look. So I'm just using this to set it, so once you go in with your eyeshadow, it'll go all nice and smooth. And I do like to pack on a decent amount to avoid any like stickiness. So I'm gonna go in with my Divine Neutrals palette, which is JACLYN Hill's collaboration with Morphe, and I'm gonna just kind of take in the first shade, which is the shade Good Vibes, to kind of dust all over my eye to kind of get a nice good base. I like these type of tones because it brings some warmth to my eye without looking like it's too much. And this has honestly been an eye look that I've gotten so many compliments on, so I've like to say, if it ain't broken, don't change it. So I feel like those warm tones tend to look better on me, so you can kind of maneuver this however you would like, but that's the color I'm going to go in with first. I'm going to just build up that color to make sure it shows. And now I'm going to just do the same thing on the other eye. And I'm going in with one of the brushes that I have. If anyone wants to know what brushes I've been using, I'm using the brushes that JACLYN Hill made in her collaboration with Morphe, like that whole big set. So I'll try to see if I can link them down below if they're still available. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Booked. So this is like a nice chestnut brown almost. So it brings a little bit more of a deeper tone to it, I should say, and kind of just deepening up the outer corner. And the key to making this look as natural as possible is blending, because depending on which brushes you use can make it look a little patchy. So you have to just be patient and kind of just blend through and take your time. One thing that I tend to notice when I do this look, I have to go back and forth with the first brush that I use and with the second brush that I use with the darker color to kind of just play around to find an easy balance. Alrighty, so I'm gonna just do the second eye off camera, and here we are. So I did that. So now I'm going to go in, because what I like to do is natural liner. So I like to use the darker shade from this palette. And that is the shade Cinnamon Roll. So I'm gonna go in with that shade, and it's hard to focus, but it says Cinnamon Roll. And I'm trying to look for my brush that I usually use. Had some difficulty looking for it because there's so many brushes, but we found her. And it's a nice, literally a flat edge brush. I like to go get a pack on the color and kind of just gently line it. I kind of work halfway, like I start literally halfway through my eyeball and kind of work my way out to kind of do like a slight wing up. But I don't bring out the wing too much because I'm just using it for definition purposes. So, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. This, I feel like, just brings out my eyes a little bit more and makes them look a little bit more bigger. It accentuates my eye shape, I should say, in easier terms. And look at the difference. Alrighty, and now, next, we're gonna go in with my brush to dust off the powder that has been there for quite some time. You do not have to leave it on leave the powder on for as long as I do. I just personally feel like it's easier to just do it this way. So just in case if I get any shadow on me, I can dust it away with the powder and not create a mess underneath my eye. Okay, now we're good, and we're gonna go on to the next step, which is my Makeup Forever. I believe it's the gel liner in the brown color, and kind of just tightline the waterline. I only go with this halfway to avoid making the eye too defined, but I feel like it just brings enough definition where my eyes pop without looking small. And then I'm taking another brush, I believe it's from one of my Urban Decay palettes, and kind of just smudging out the liner a little bit, because I won't lie, I did mess up a little bit. I don't usually do this, but to make it look natural, there it did. So did the other eye. Now we're gonna go with our mascara. I have been recently loving the Rare Beauty mascara because it's literally an all-in-one type of gal. It literally helps with volume, curling, lengthening, and lifting. And it's also water resistant, so it's easy to come off, but it honestly won't when you don't want it to, is what I like to say. So enjoy seeing the voluminous lashes. And I like to take my time with this to make sure that I don't mess up any lash. Like, look at that difference. That's insane. So did the other eye off camera, and we just see those eyes are popping. So next we're gonna go in with my Rare Beauty bronzer stick in the shade Good Energy. Anyone who has seen my previous video knows how much I love this. This is probably the easiest cream bronzer that I've ever used, and this is coming from an oily gal. So this dries down honestly like a powder. I don't feel like I've gotten any extra shine from this. So I'm just carving out everything, and we're gonna go look for our brush. I believe I'm gonna be using the Sephora collection foundation brush. I forgot the number, but I will make sure to have everything listed down in the description. And I kind of just pat on the product and kind of lift it up, because whenever you're using anything cream or any bronzer, you always want to lift it. You always want to lift the product up, because that's how you want to drag your face. You want to drag the face structure up, not down, because then it's gonna look a little weird if you have everything down. But look how easy that blended. That literally took minimal effort, and it looks so pretty. And now we're going to just do the same on the other side. And the one thing I enjoy about this shade is that it actually works with me, because I've been wanting to try this bronzer stick for the longest, and when it first came out I just couldn't find the right match. I got a darker a shade that was too dark for me. So now that they came out with this, I'm so happy that it works with my skin, and it's like super neutral. The other one runs a little bit warm, the one that I got in the first place. So now I'm going to take this little brush and kind of just blend out the product on my nose. This brush has been the only one that I found that is big enough to blend it quickly, but also make sure that it stays in the area where I need it to. So I always like to bring a little bit of bronzer on my nose to help with definition. And this is where you see where putting concealer on my nose helps, because I feel like it just makes it pop a little bit more with the highlighted line that I put on my nose. I feel like it just brought it out, so it gives more of a contour effect versus just bronzing. Like, she snatched. I was feeling myself. So now we're gonna go with my Benefit blush. This is my absolute favorite blush, and I'm using the shade Pom Pom. So I'm gonna be looking for my blush brush and tap that baby in and plop her on. So this is a very pigmented blush. So I learned the hard way when I first used it that a little does go a long way. So if you have a heavy hand, make sure to tap off product before you go in. But look how pretty that blush is. It's like a nice mix of like a neutral rosy pink. So the pink pops out, but it's not like so much in your face where you feel like, oh my goodness, I have a rosy cheek. So I mean, some people are here for that. I mean, I'm happy for anyone who's there, but not me. So now I'm gonna go in with my Rare Beauty lip liner in the shade Wise to line my lips. And I absolutely love this liner. This has been my favorite liner since it's come out, and it does stay. It's like, honestly, but like, it's like a smudge proof, waterproof, everything proof. It's one of the best liners, one of the best retractable liners I've honestly can say. And the color is honestly perfect for my lips. I feel like it gives the best like contour shade for my lips, because I like to do that contouring lip trick. So as you see here, I start off by just gently lining my lip, and then kind of just going a little bit over my cupid's bow to add that little pouty lip look. And I just go around the edges everywhere else. And as you see, I start bringing in the product a little bit more to kind of just color a good chunk of my lips with this, but not all the way, as you see here, because now I'm gonna fill it in with my Dior Lip Glow in the shade Rosewood. This is honestly a new find that I've really enjoyed. I usually use my Rare Beauty lipstick, but I wanted to keep it nice and natural, and I didn't want to have a matte lipstick on, surprisingly, today. So I went in with that color, and look how nice that blended. That went in so pretty. We have a nice peachy pink lip, and now we're gonna just kiss everything up with the Urban Decay All-Nighter and lock it all in place so all of our hard work stays intact. Spraying all over, and then we are gonna fan it out. I literally douse myself in setting spray. I feel like it's not set if I don't do that. And that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know how I did in the comments below and what you thought of the look. I thought it came out pretty good, so I'm pretty proud of myself. So if you did like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. It will mean the world to me, and it does help my video with the YouTube algorithm. So please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and join the community we have growing here so you don't miss a video. Also, remember to press the notification bell as well. And again, yeah, let me know if there's any other videos you want me to film. I'm open to suggestions, so let me know. And yeah, I guess that wraps up everything I have to say. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.